Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of great millstones who taught me this truth. Salutations to the elect out there, scattered wherever you may be. May Yahweh Shai bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure in these last days. Okay, shalom to you, Akim, on the highways and byways, week in and week out, presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, as Yahweh Bashem Yahushai commanded us to do. May Yahweh Bashem Yahushai also bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. Excuse me. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there, scattered wherever you may be, and you Jakes out there whose forefathers go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, but you don't look like your traditional Israelite, but your spirit does bear witness to this gospel. Shalom to you. All right, it is your brother Dabakia from the Sons of Yasharallah, GMS Colorado Springs Camp, coming back to you with another lesson, and I pray that you're edified, because that's what this thing is about, right? Edification and exhortation. Okay? All right. No title for this lesson. We're gonna just flow in the spirit. All right, over here at the plantation on my quick little lunch break, if you will. So it's time to get rolling. All right. It feels good to be back. But nonetheless, right, as we look around, or let's see, as I was coming to what I should name this lesson, or what I should go into for this lesson, for some reason, and it's not even for some reason, it's the angels, okay, and the spirit kept telling me that I need to go into the word pride. All right. Yes, pride. Okay, because the Bible, all right, the scripture specifically talk about pride and how it is against the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, as we look around here in America, there's a whole lot of so-called pride. Okay, you even have a thing called Pride Month. But nonetheless, all right, we're going to go into the book of 1 Samuel about David, our King David, before he was king at that, when he fought Goliath, all right, who was a so-called Philistine, which are your traditional Africans today, right? Your Hamites, okay? Your Philistines, or Philistines, however you want to pronounce it. They descend, and they are the descendants of Ham, right? Which is one of Noah's sons, all right? So right here I have pride Bible definition, okay? And right here it says, in the Bible, pride is defined as an excessive love of one's own excellence. Is that not what we see here in America? All right, aka Babylon the Great. People, prideful, right? An excessive love of one's excellence. Selfies, okay? That's a clear example of pride, all right? You know, you're putting yourself in a limelight, taking a picture, and trying to put yourself above one, all right? Above everyone else, right? That's an example of pride. All right, and just little things, you know, self-achievements, which isn't bad, but still, some people go around and walk around like they're, quote, shit don't stink, as they used to say. All right, continuing on. An improper or excessive sense of self-esteem. And that's what you niggas have, specifically you 2/3, are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who won't come into this truth. You're cocky, all right, because Esau Edom has fed you. The so-called white man has fed you bread and crumbs. You think you're on a level, but you're going to be humbled, all right, in these last days. We see judgment pouring out everywhere we look. There's so much going on. It's hard to keep up, all right. We are in prophetic times, all right, and the MOTB is on the way, all right. All right, conceit or arrogance, okay? Elevating one's own opinions and thoughts above God's word. All right? You niggas don't want to be corrected. All right? You don't want to be corrected, but correction is in a law. So you're being disobedient. You're being a sinner. All right? And we know this. This is milk. What's sin? Transgression of the law. You niggas are transgressing the law. And that right there is a clear violation to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. So he's going to destroy you. Lest ye repent, that is. All right. Right here. Relying on one's own strength and wisdom to be successful. Thinking you can do it all. Thinking you know it all. Etc. Etc. Right. Continuing on, a self-isolating attitude that can cut a person off from their relationships. Whoa. a selfish attitude, an insolent and empty assurance, a shameful, despising, and violation of divine and human laws. Giving oneself the credit for something that power has accomplished. Right? Oh, I don't know why I didn't say this. The most prideful people on earth are you self-proclaimed white people, which are the fucking Edomites of the Bible, okay? You descend from Esau, Edom, out of Mount Seir. All right, this is milk. This is all in the book of Genesis. Hey, and speaking of which, I just seen an article on Twitter because there's so many articles coming out, but it says that I think 50% or there hasn't been a 50% increase in Americans buying the Bible. All right, that's because, look, you Edomites know that your future is sealed in the Bible, okay? And nonetheless, the Israelites got the whole world reading the Bible again, all right? All through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. And you're reading with your own eyes that the stuff we've been saying on the highways and byways week in and week out and through these lessons is not a myth and it's not a lie. Yahweh Shem Shai is going to judge America. He's going to judge the world, okay? For their wickedness. All right, giving oneself of the credit for something that power has accomplished. And lastly, taking the glory that belongs to power alone and keeping it for oneself. Wow. Everything belongs to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Period. The Bible equates pride with sin and considers it to be the root of the first sin. So if you have a prideful demon on you, repent and pray to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai that he takes that prideful demon off of you. All right, some passages of the scriptures that tell us how power views pride include, these are some famous scriptures right here. Give me a sec. Salakia. Right here. Right here. Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 13. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh, is to hate evil, pride, arrogance, and the evil way. And the perverse mouth I hate. You know, the wicked mouth, the mouth that tells lies, etc. I hate. So yes, it is righteous to hate. God is not all love, you damn Edomites, you fake ass Christians that don't know the Bible, you wacky tacky plantation Christians out there don't know shit. And you're being confounded by the Israelites. It's a beautiful thing to see. Continuing on. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 18. Pride goes before destruction. All right. Pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. And lastly, 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 7. In the New Testament, you Christians, what do you have that you did not receive? And if you did receive it, why do you boast as though you did not? All right. Continuing on. Let's go ahead and get into the scripts now. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 1 in the King James Version Bible, 1611. All right. We're taking it back. And we'll see how long this lesson is. Right here. Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and were gathered together at Shuch, which belongeth to Judah. Okay, all these lands over there in Canaan, right, in Jerusalem, belong to the children of Israel. That's it, and that's all. And pitched between Shuch and Ezekiah, and Ephes Damim, verse 2. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah, and set the battle in array against the Philistines. Verse 3. And the Philistines stood on the mountain on the one side, right? All the Hamites, okay? And Israel stood on the mountain on the other side, all right? Ham against Jake, Ham against Judah. All right, it is what it is. That rivalry will always be there. All right, you so-called Negroes and you damn Africans, we are two different people. All right, we're Shemitic and you Hamites are Hamitic. Okay, you descend from Ham. All right, the progenitor of the dark races. All right, and Israel stood on the mountain on the other side. All right, and there was a valley between them, and there went out a champion. All right, of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits in a span. So this was a very big ass Hamite. All right, imagine that. Ham is already a tall ass motherfucker. More or less, you Hamites don't take baths and nothing. We are not the same people, period. All right, continuing on. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 5. And he had a helmet of brass upon his head, and was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. Whoa. See, I need you all out there to visualize this, to picture this, right? going into war, right? With this big ass, with the Hamites. And you Hamites are going into slavery too. Thus saith the scriptures. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 6. He had greaves of brass upon his legs and a target of brass between his shoulders. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 7. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron. Damn. And one bearing a shield went before him. Sheesh. So this man was really a warrior and over there with his people. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 8. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel. All right. And his pridefulness. This is what this is going into. I had to say it, but we're going to get there. So like it. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel and said unto them, why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine? And ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 9. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall ye be our servants and serve us. So he's casting a lot, if you will. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 10. And the Philistine said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. So he was calling niggas out. That's what we call it in the hood, right? Let's not sugarcoat it. That's what we call it over there in the barrios, right in the hood. Where Jake resides. All right. If a man has a problem with you, right? What do? They call you out for a fight. Over here in Denver, where I'm at, where I reside, we call it out. We say call out for the heads. All right, where we strictly, aim for the head and the body parts. But also we have bodies as well, where we just will aim for the bodies. But in this case, this nigga's going all out. Goliath, that is. And the Philistines, okay. In 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 10. And the Philistine said, I defy the armies of Israel. Give me a man that we may fight together. Verse 11. When Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 12. Now David was the son of Ephraite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. Okay, our King David descends from a man who was Jake, who's from the tribe of Judah, so-called black man. All right, and his name is Jesse. And he had 8 sons. All right, and the man went among men. All right, and the man went among men for an old man in the days of Saul. Whoa. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 13. And the oldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. And the names of the 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shemaiah. Excuse me. Yep, Shemaiah. Wow. Verse 14. And David was the youngest, and the 3 eldest followed Saul. Right. 5:41. 14, 12, 22, 32, 40. Okay. All right, right here. But David, I was thinking about something, Salakia. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 15. But David went, verse 15. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. David, he's out of there. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 16. And the Philistine drew near morning and evening and presented himself 40 days. So he was pacing. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 12. And Jesse said unto David his son, take now for thy brethren an ephah of this parched corn and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to the brethren. And carry these 10 cheeses unto the captain of their thousands, and look how thy brethren fare, and take their pledge. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 19. Now Saul and they and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah fighting with the Philistines. Wow. 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 20. And David rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with the keeper and took and went as Jesse had commanded him. And as he came to the trench, as the host was going forth to fight, and shouted for the battle. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 21. For Israel and the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 22. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage and ran into the army and came and saluted his brethren. So he said, Shalom Akim, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Rakadash Brakata. That's right, what he said. You know, or he probably, yep, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Brakata. That's how we salute the brethren, you know. 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 23. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words as David heard them. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 24. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the men, fled from him. So they were scared and were sore afraid. All right, there's nothing to be afraid of, man. We shouldn't fear man. We should fear Yahweh Shemel Shai also. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 25. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man that has come up? It's like, nigga, do you see this? Jake is funny, man. Surely to the fight. Wait, verse 25 again. And the men of Israel said, have you seen this man that has come up and surely to defy Israel? Is he come up? And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches and will give him his daughter and make his father's house free in Israel. Wow. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 26. And David spake to the man that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to this man that killeth the Philistine and taketh away the reproach from Israel? So David was bold in his approach. For who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Who is this uncircumcised fucking Hamite? That's how I feel about all you damn Hamites, you so-called Africans, right? You self-proclaimed Africans. This story is hilarious. I love this story. I ain't gonna lie. Hold up. Uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living power. Come on, nigga, you can't defeat Israel. You Edomites can't defeat Israel. You Hamites can't defeat Israel. You Japhites can't defeat Israel. You Ammonites can't defeat Israel. You Moabites can't defeat Israel. You Elamites can't defeat Israel. You Ishmaelites can't defeat Israel. None of you niggas can defeat Israel. You're going to see in these last days as Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai raises up the elect. And the 1/3. Call Lamb Lay Habashim Yashai Bashir Kadash Rakata. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 27. And the people answered him after this manner, saying, so shall it be done to the man that killeth him. 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 28. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he spake unto the men. And Eliab's anger was kindled against David. Eliab was the oldest brother. And he said, why camest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? So he's like, fool, who's watching the sheep like our father Jesse commanded? I know thy pride and the naughtiness of thine heart, for thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle. So he's like, you just want to come down here to instigate. Okay. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 29. And David said, woo, this is a very long chapter. We'll probably have to do part 2. Salakia. And David said, what have I now done? Is there not a cause? He's like, come on, man. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 30. And he turned from him toward another and spake after the same manner. And the people answered him again after the former matter. And when the words were heard, which David spake, they rehearsed them before Saul, and he sent for him. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 32. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 33. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he be a man of war from his youth. So Saul, none of the niggas in Israel at that time had faith, right? 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 34. And David said unto Saul, thy servant, keep his father's sheep. And there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of the flock. Verse 35. And I went after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he rose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. In other words, David was like, man, I got it in me. He's like, I'm built for this. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 36. The servant showed both the lion and the bear, and the uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he had defied the armies of the living power. David is just bold. Our King David is bold, and we need to be like that. That's why we pray every day to be part of the house of David. Verse 37. David said, moreover, the Lord Yahweh, as you can see, it's in capital letters. David knew the name of the Lord, right? And the name of the Lord Yahweh has returned back to the children of Israel. That's why we say, Tawada Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And the Lord Yahweh be with thee. And David said, moreover, the Lord Yahweh that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear. This is actually what happened. He will deliver me out of the hand of the Philistine. David was delivered out of the paw of a lion and what else does it say? And out of the paw of a bear. Whoa. If this doesn't boost your faith, man, you got to check your spirit. For real, check your spirit if this ain't a faith booster. He will deliver me out of the hand of the Philistines. And Saul said unto David, go, and the Lord Yahweh be with thee. And Saul armed David with his armor, and he put on a helmet of brass upon his head. Also, he armed him with a coat of mail. Continuing on. And David girded his sword upon his armor, and he essayed to go, for he had not proved it. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with thee, for I have not proved them. And David put them off of him. So David was just so humble that he felt like he wasn't worthy to wear King Saul's gear at the time. You just want to, So if David was humble like this, why can't you niggas out there? Why can't you Spicks, you Tomahawks, be humble like this, right? You 2/3. And you also us in the truth. We need to be humble always. Period. We're not exempt. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 40. A few more verses left, and I guess I'm going to wrap it up. This is a good story. And he took his staff in his hand and chose him smooth stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was in his hand. And he drew near to the Philistine. Verse 41. And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David. And the man that bare the shield went before him. So the battle's getting intense. Verse 42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance. So David was a light brown Judite, all right? Kind of how he resembles my skin, if you will, right? I'm a light brown Judite as well. David was a light-skinned brother, in other words. Because, that's what they used to say back in the day, that certain light skins, if you will turn red in the face, etc. They still say that about my little brother. Matter of fact, 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance. And as the Philistine said unto David, am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. His fucking Hamite was prideful for real. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 44. And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air and to the beasts of the field. Whoa. 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse 45. This might be the last verse before I go back in for my lunch. Then said David to the Philistine that cometh to me with a sword and with a spar and with a shield. But I come to thee in the name of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the power of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defiled. All right. Whoa. So David was about to defeat Goliath via the name of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Wow. We have to get part 2. Period. All right, pray that you were edified by this lesson. I'm going to wrap it up by saying, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, Shalawah. I'll be back. Yahweh Ratizah.